The day I realized my wife had left me was the exact same bright, sunlit afternoon I found a forgotten, dust-covered envelope tucked inside my late father's old tackle box, containing a deed to a house I didn't know existed and a letter begging for forgiveness I was 10 years too late to give. My whole world crumbled under the golden glow of a mid-afternoon sun, leaving me standing in an empty apartment with nothing but a suitcase, a broken heart, and a key to a crumbling suburban house 3 states away. Before we journey deeper into this story of healing, unexpected grace, and second chances, if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, hope, and the beautiful ways broken lives can be stitched back together, please take a moment to like this video, leave a thoughtful comment, share it with someone who might be struggling today, and subscribe to our channel to join our growing family. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep sharing stories that touch the soul. I packed what little was left of my life into the trunk of my sedan and drove toward Oakridge, a quiet coastal town bathed in late afternoon light where the ocean breeze carried the faint scent of salt and pine. The house my father had left me was an old, sprawling craftsman structure with weathered gray shingles, a wraparound porch, and floor-to-ceiling windows that let the sunlight flood into every corner. It was far too large for a man grieving the sudden collapse of a 7-year marriage, so I posted an ad online seeking a roommate to help cover the property taxes and keep the quiet from becoming deafening. That was how I met Clara, a freelance graphic illustrator with vibrant blue eyes, a quiet laugh, and a gentle presence that seemed to soft-focus the sharp edges of my grief. Clara was starting over too, running away from a broken engagement and a corporate job that had drained the life out of her creative spirit. We established a comfortable, respectful rhythm, sharing morning coffee on the sunlit porch, passing each other in the wide hallways, and slowly building a sanctuary out of a house that had been born from neglect. By late spring, the house needed serious maintenance, and we decided to tackle the upper floor rooms one by one during the long, warm weekend afternoons. Clara's bedroom had suffered from an old roof leak, leaving peeling wallpaper and water-stained plaster that desperately needed repair. On a brilliant Saturday morning, with the sun streaming through the skylights and illumination pouring over every inch of the hallway, a team of local painters arrived to strip the walls, patch the drywall, and apply heavy, low-VOC paint. The fumes were surprisingly intense, filling her end of the hall with a sharp, chemical haze that made her eyes water, and by mid-afternoon, the workers had sealed off her doorway with plastic sheeting so the plaster could dry under the heavy industrial drying fans they had left running. Clara stood in the sun-drenched hallway holding a single, plush pink pillow against her chest, her expression a mix of embarrassment and quiet hesitation as she looked at me standing near my open bedroom door. She took a slow, hesitant step toward my room, where the sunlight was casting long, warm patterns across the hardwood floor and illuminating the soft linen duvet of my bed. She explained that the fumes in her room were giving her a migraine and the heavy noise of the fans made it impossible to rest, looking down at her bare feet before looking back up into my eyes with a vulnerability that caught me off guard. "My room is unlivable until tomorrow," she said softly, clutching her pillow tightly while pointing toward the unmade side of my large king-sized mattress. "Could I just put my pillow beside yours, just for one night?" The simplicity of her request, combined with the raw honesty in her eyes, made my heart beat with a quiet, unexpected intensity. I nodded without hesitation, stepping aside to let her in, watching as the afternoon light wrapped around her shoulders while she gently placed her pillow right beside mine on the broad mattress. That afternoon turned into a gentle shift in the atmosphere of our lives, as we spent the remaining daylight sitting side by side on top of the covers, talking about things we had kept hidden behind polite roommate boundaries for months. Wrapped in the bright, warm ambience of the room, Clara opened up about the deep betrayal that had shattered her trust in people, explaining how her former fiancé had systematically dismantled her self-worth until she felt invisible. I found myself sharing the quiet horror of coming home to an empty house, the shame of feeling discarded, and the painful silence my father had left behind when he passed away without ever explaining why he had abandoned our family decades ago. As the sun reached its golden hour, bathing the room in a deep, honeyed light, Clara reached out and gently rested her hand over mine, offering a touch so soft and devoid of pretense that it felt like the first real human warmth I had experienced in years. There were no sudden line crossings or dramatic betrayals that day, only the profound, quiet realization that two deeply wounded people had found a safe harbor in one another amidst the daylight. We fell asleep late in the afternoon, side by side under the golden sunbeams, connected not by physical urgency, but by a shared understanding of grief, resilience, and the fragile hope of starting over. When I woke up a few hours later, the sun was just beginning to set, casting deep amber shadows across the bedroom, and Clara was looking at me with a peaceful, gentle smile that made the heavy weight in my chest vanish completely. She told me that for the first time in years, she hadn't felt anxious about tomorrow, and as I looked into her eyes, I realized that the house was no longer a monument to my father's secrets, but a home where healing had finally taken root. In the weeks that followed, the barrier between our separate lives completely dissolved, replaced by a warm, shared journey toward building a future together grounded in trust, mutual respect, and unconditional support. We finished restoring the old Craftsman house together, turning every sun-filled room into a testament to second chances, resilience, and the unexpected beauty that can emerge from life's greatest heartbreaks. Looking back on that afternoon, I realized that sometimes the greatest turnarounds in our lives don't happen through grand gestures, but through simple, vulnerable moments when we choose to open our doors and share our space with someone who needs it just as much as we do. What is a moment in your life where a small act of trust or kindness completely changed the direction of your journey? Please leave a meaningful comment below sharing your thoughts, experiences, or reflections on forgiveness and new beginnings. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey.